What's up, and welcome to episode 1 of season 2 of the Q podcast, featuring very, very special guest, the laid-back Airtime Myke himself. Welcome, good sir.
Hey, Miguel, thank you so much for the invitation. I really appreciate it. Laid back, I'm not sure about that.
I had to flip it on the other side.
Okay,
it works out.
I like that.
Before we get to know you a little bit more, I got to tell you the premise of the show is as if we are in a hypothetical queue line waiting to ride your favorite attraction. And while we wait, we just have a simple conversation as friends.
I liked it, man. I like it. So
Right,
I mean, so we're definitely in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Okay.
In the queue line.
You're jumping right into it. What are we riding today?
We're riding the Voyage Trimless, HoliWood Nights at night. Yes, sir.
Ooh, special. Trimless at that. Okay, with that being said, we're riding the Voyage.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to jump right into HoliWood Nights. Is a very awesome coaster enthusiast event that I have not yet been to, but you and I briefly touched on that. We touched on it, and I saw also you got your tickets and booked your Airbnb for this year, 2021, coming up, right?
Man, we're all set to go here, man. So, I treat this as this is arguably probably the best 2 days of the year for me. That whole weekend, and so I kind of cater my whole vacation and in year. Yeah, 2 happiest days of my life. So yeah, everything's good to go. We're all set. Booked. It's February. It's 4 months ahead of time, man. These Airbnbs are getting booked and quick. So yeah, we went ahead and jumped on that, got that situated, and had to check my ACE membership, make sure that was good. Got the tickets and flight set something.
Okay, sounds good.
We didn't need June 4th to get here. That's it.
That is very, very true. I had some questions though for those who may not know about HoliWood Nights, as far as where's the best airport to fly into.
So it depends. So if you're only going in for the event, I would fly into Louisville, Kentucky. Literally the best thing to do is to go to Kentucky Kingdom that Friday afternoon. If you've never been in park, knock it out for about 3 or 4 hours, and then you drive the 1 hour and 10-minute drive to Santa Claus, Indiana. The good news is that because Louisville is in the Eastern time zone, when you drive the Santa Claus, it's in the Central time zone. So so you actually don't lose any time when you leave. So if you leave at 4, you arrive at 4.
I like that.
That is also like prepared. I'm flying into St. Louis. Yeah, I'll be flying into St. Louis this year because I'm doing a road trip afterwards. But yeah, I would highly recommend either St. Louis highly recommend Louisville, and then in the backup I do St. Louis.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Because even for myself, everybody I know is going, especially this year. And I heard last year was really, really good too.
Man.
I'm coming.
We need you, man. Last year was interesting. It was a lot more crowded than normal. The park also gave access to people to arrive to the park and actually buy their ticket, purchase a ticket at the gate, which is unusual.
Oh wow!
And I think with the pandemic and no other parks being open, and Hollywood World was the only park open for night rides. It ended up being like really, really crowded and packed. I don't think they're prepared for it. However, we still had a good time. Still had a great time. This year we're probably back to more than normal with all the parks being open. So I'm excited to marathon this coaster over and over again until no avail.
Mentioning marathoning coasters, that's kind of, I think, on Instagram is how we met. I think you made a post of your top coasters or something like that. It's kind of cloudy, but I responded and everybody was shocked about, I think, Lightning Rod was so high on your list. I ended up going for the reopening of Dollywood's 2020 season. You told me where to sit on the coaster, where was the best place. And then I did. And wait, hold on. I got to show you this really quick. I got to show you. Let me pull this up real quick. Look at my face of enjoy. Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah, that front rest. Look at that smile. Look at those pearly whites right there. I love the shirt, man.
Think about this. It's a pandemic, right? And it's my first ride, period, after all this has gone down. My first time back at the parks. I don't even have a haircut at that point. I'm looking a mess, but I'm just happy to be back at a park. And I was super hyped to be there.
How was it, man? I actually didn't make it to Dollywood this year, but how was the park this year?
The park was good. Everything was good. All the rides were functioning. I can't wait to get back this weekend, actually. This weekend, I'll be back there at the park. and I'm super excited. By the way, well, I'll say that surprise later for my vlog from the park. But yeah, I'm really excited to be back. There's a lot of big things happening this year. A lot of good has been coming my way with like working hard, and I'm just very hyped to get, especially with the whole like retracking and everything with Lightning Rod. Super excited because Lightning Rod did become my favorite coaster so far after that experience. And I remember you told me, just to continue with that story, you told me to marathon, and I'm like, it shut down right after I rode that one time because it started to rain.
Sounds about right. Yeah, that's what that's the problem with the coaster. Which I hope this with the getting that steel hybrid track on there is going to one, make the coaster just reliable. Like that's the number one thing, right? Just make it reliable so that it could actually operate. And but hopefully the ride experience hopefully doesn't change at all. I think with that with the iBox track, mentioning with the topper track, it'll be interesting. I think eventually they're going to probably make it all iBox. Yeah. But the big question is going to be whether or not is it a new credit for you?
I would say no.
Good. Okay. Good.
I would say no, man.
We're on the same page then.
For those that do that, come on.
Yeah, there's there's some people out there, man. Like that just like, hey, it's a new credit, it's a new track. I'm like, it's no different than a retracking.
All that is. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing as retracking. What people are doing there are just trying to get their creds up, their numbers. That's all it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Come on, just to flex on their friends. That's it.
I guess.
But,
I don't know.
Speaking of friends, though, really quick, you just had a really fun like coaster meetup this past weekend at Six Flags America, I believe. How was it?
Man, let me tell you something. The Six Flags America, right, is it's one of those parks that people really I'm not quite sure. Yeah, exactly, man. Hate on. They kind of like look down towards it, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Honestly, I had a discussion. I met up with Rob Rides. He was there as well too.
Oh yeah, and, he told me that's his new home park.
Yeah. That was his first time going actually. And so it was kind of cool to kind of get his perspective on it. And he's been in a lot of Six Flags parks, and he's like, this is actually a pretty nice park. And we had an absolute amazing time, man. Like there were so many enthusiasts there. I think just the opportunity to like have access to a full park opening, and now there's like kind of like the start of coaster season. Now we're in coaster season. For sure. I met the new park president. Nice. His name is Richard. Awesome man. Got pictures with him. Had a nice discussion with him. And we also want to make sure we did Dave as well. Dave is the marketing director. He kind of gave us some access, and I want to thank him too, man. He kind of messaged me throughout the entire day, let me know when certain attractions were going to open and what's going on with that. So
very solid. I like that.
I got the opportunity to get the very first Superman ride in the front row. So I have the first ride of the season on Superman front row.
That's pretty epic.
I'm taking that. So we're taking it. But man, it was great, man. It was so good just to see everybody out there. Like there's so many enthusiasts that showed up there. And we all had a blast, man. Like
how was
Six Flags America? Like
how was the meetup organized?
I'm not even quite sure. So we had ourselves. We within our own group, man, we had like a few people going, and then somehow it just kind of sprinkled out. It wasn't really like a meetup for like us per se. I think everybody enthusiasts just saw, hey, there's a park opening. Where it's in the East Coast. Yep. And anybody within like 300 miles was like, nothing else is open except for Busch Gardens having an opening, but it's been open. So
yeah, true.
They're like, we want to access the whole park, meal plan, Six Flags, and everybody had a great time. The whole point was, I know the real deal was everybody wanted to come out and ride the smoothest B&M in Maryland. And that's what it comes down to, so. And then now we have the smoothest GCI in Maryland also at that park as well too. Which I'm so happy to be proud that I actually got a chance to ride as well too. So
that's very true.
Man, we had a wonderful time, man. It was some things going around. We had Angela coasters doing the whole circles thing. That was pretty cool out there in front of the Larson Loop. Right. And man, it was just really good just to see everybody's smiling faces and nobody complained. Of course, it's opening day operations. They got to be some rides down.
Yeah, talk to me about that a little bit. Were they doing a lot of single train ops?
Everything was one train. So everything in the park was one train. However, like the park's not crowded, so it wasn't like
okay, that's good.
The last coaster open was Superman. It opened about 4:15. But once they got it going, it like once they got it on, everybody got a chance to ride. But like nothing was more than like 10-minute wait, like at best. So like nothing, mostly walk-ons, but like 10 minutes max.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like an interesting park where it's kind of like how do I put it? It's more of a local park.
It's right off the interstate, man. Like it's like right there. Yeah, it's like right off. So like it's like right off the interstate. So easy access.
Okay, that's good. I thought it was a little bit of like a drive, kind of like some other parks where you got to drive down in Indiana to get there.
Oh yeah. If you want to go to Hollywood World, man, it's out there.
No, I thought it was like that though. That's what I heard.
Yeah, pretty close to the accessibility is really good. It's like right off the interstate. Like you come off 95 and you take like the 15A exit, and you're like 2 miles. It's on the left.
Okay,
like it's like really it's really cool to get through. So the only problem with that park this weekend, the only complaint I really have is that they had the COVID vaccinations going on. Like at the park as well too, like kind of next to the exit. Yeah, so like a lot of traffic was like designated to backing it up. So when you pulled up in there, if you came early like I did at opening, you kind of sat in some traffic. But I had posted stories like, hey, listen, you don't have to sit in that traffic, just kind of go around it. But they just kind of mismanaged the like how they were treating the same weekend with the vaccinations. But like, so we were worried. We're like, is this park this packed? I'm like, I've never seen Six Flags America like this.
No,
impossible.
and it still wasn't.
It still wasn't. When we got in the park, we were like, oh, there's only like 10 people here. Like, we're good. Okay, like we're good. Okay. So that's about it, man. But I like that place. It's not the greatest park in the world. It's not the worst either. It's like a solid park. Is what I would say. Like,
so it needs to stop getting so much hate, pretty much.
Correct. Yeah, the staff features very well. They did everything they could to make sure the rides were operational. They'd have to open up Superman. Like they could have just left it closed, but no, they worked on all the rides. Open up the entire every single coaster opened up.
Yeah, because they didn't open up for 2020, right?
They did eventually. Oh, okay. So it was kind of like how Six Flags was doing a limited opportunity. Yeah. But they opened up a little. They eventually opened up. But it's just that in that pandemic, like Maryland and Virginia are one of the two states where it's like very seriously high restrictions.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll give Six Flags credit this too. Like this is the park president. You can tell he's already got his imprint, already on the plan, right?
Oh, good.
Like we're at Superman. The ride out was like, this is the new Six Flags America. Like this train is leaving in 30 seconds. He's like they kind of have some like Carowinds, vibe up there, man. Like how they're like speeding through their operations, but it was.
By the way, super hype to get back to Carowinds in May.
I can't wait to get back. Man. Yeah, May 28th, man. I'll be there May 28th. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. And it was just like they're very strict on COVID procedure. Mm-hmm. They stopped the coaches on the track, man. Someone had their phone out. They stopped on the lift hill.
Wow.
Brought security up, man. Like you can just see like they're taking it serious. And and it was good to see that. It was really good to see that.
Well, good. I like that, especially in this day and age amongst parks. But what is your actual home park, though?
Gotcha. My home park is actually King's Dominion.
Okay.
To us, I'm like, I live out in Fredericksburg, so I'm about 20 minutes away from King's Dominion.
That's a great park, in my opinion, to have as your home park.
Oh yeah, I love that place, man.
There's so many people that are so lucky that just have great parks. Like, I'm not saying, because mine right now is Six Flags Over Georgia. Not saying it's awful, but like you have like amazing lineup of coasters. We have a very solid one. I think we could really use a launch coaster or even RMC Raptor to kind of like make it super well-rounded, but it's very solid. And then also there was word of possibly your type of coaster that you hate, 4D free spin.
Yeah.
But hey, we don't need that. But I know people the GP would love it. But hey,
so it's just funny you mentioned that. Six Flags Over Georgia, is probably my second favorite Six Flags park, and out of all of them, I think Magic Mountain's the best one. Over Georgia is really, I know it's your home park, so you go there all the time. So like the appreciation can sometimes be doing it, but I know you love that place. But as an outsider, man,
you've seen on the channel, I make a lot of stuff on it.
I make a lot of stuff, but as an outsider, the park's very complete. Like they have, in my opinion, the best B&M hyper there. They've got an excellent stand-up coaster. They've got probably the best Batman clone building. They've got a Schwarzkopf.
It's so much quicker now. And Mindbender is going to open back up sometime this spring. Yep.
Got a Schwarzkopf, an RMC, a pretty decent Woody, a good.
We have a Gersler Eurofighter, one of two in the Six Flags chains. Yeah,
and yeah, me too. Every single flat ride, amazing water park, good access to the park. You know, like they have a lot going on at that park that I really like. You know, so awesome drop tower, by the way, probably one of my favorites. I love acrophobia.
Did a whole video on
it.
History of acrophobia. It's actually like the behind the scenes of that is so good, and just how that it's a rare ride. It's the only gyro tilting drop tower in North America.
That's it.
So
and it's awesome.
It's crazy.
And I love how the ride ops like make the experience better when they talk to you like right at the top. So that's so cool. But like I love that place, man. But unfortunately, my home park is as well as you hyped it up. We are getting a 4D free spin.
I know.
It's sitting in the parking lot right now. It's
so explain what were you guys hoping for?
Anything but a free spin, you know. I don't care what it is, man. You could have brought back the crypt for all I care. Like, you know, like kept the crypt and like get rid of the freebies. Yeah. But I think there's a means to an end. So I've mentioned it before that I have no inside information at all, but I really believe that SNS is gonna give us the access coaster to replace Volcano, and I think that we got the 4D free spin as a gift/package deal for purchasing a prototype coaster.
That stuff happens.
And if that's the means to an end, then I'll take the 4D free spin. You know, I'll look at it. I'm contemplating if I'm even going to ride it or not. Like, I mean, Kings of Main's lucky, man. Like they didn't open last year because I might have been outside like picketing. You know, it would have been like a full on arsenal of just No to the 3D force spin. I would have made signs, would have got some people, would have chained myself up here. We will not ride.
It's that serious.
You know, like I would have done anything I can to ensure that, you know, we don't want this. But like then again, you know, like they're not worried about me. I think the public really loves those rides. It's gonna be something different and unique.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning.
You know, so like that'll be cool. But I think it's smart on Kings of Maine. Like I think it was supposed to open this year. However, when you got Pantheon opening, you know, an hour down the street, you can't really open.
Is there any word on that?
Yeah, it's got some complications going on right now. So
yeah, because like it's super quiet and low key. Like they're not even saying. And then I think I read too something on the opening. Like I don't know if it's going to be delayed. I don't even know if it's going to be this year.
Yeah, it should be this year. Like from what I've been told, you know, it looks like, you know, it's still sitting up like in the launch section, mid launch section. From what I've been told from some of the people that I know that it's cycled twice. Okay. So far, it's they're waiting on some repairs to like, you know, fix some engineering concerns. But maybe hopefully in June, you know, like hopefully like June, July, like summer opening. I'm looking at that'd be nice. So that'd be cool. But you know, like there's always going to be some issues when you come on an intimate multi-launch. Very true. But it'll be a great coaster. I think honestly it'll probably be the best coaster opening out of the new ones this year.
That's something I wanted to talk to you about. What are you least looking forward to as far as the openings? Obviously, we've had some things. Some people would say back in the day, the Mach Power Splash Aquaman, but that got postponed to 2022 now. Yeah. But so that's removed. And then some were even hyping up what's that called? Even though it's a clone, but it's coming here to the States. What's that? Tron Light Cycle. But as of now, inside it appears it's going to be postponed to 2022 as well. But what are you least expecting? What are you?
Yeah, oh man, that's tough, man. I say out of all of them, I'm probably least looking forward to probably Emperor. You know, SeaWorld San Diego.
Wow. People forget about that.
It's just a you know, if you got to make a dive coaster, you got to make it shorter than 200 feet and kind of shorten on the height and. Maybe that's the least thing I'm looking forward to. I'm still gonna ride. It's gonna be. I've never been to SeaWorld San Diego, but like
me neither.
You know, it looks like, you know, it's they order something, they got something, and
it's also the least. It's one of the least like themed nice. Well, I guess it's better than San Antonio's SeaWorld as far as theming around, but. San Antonio has a great lineup of coasters. I feel like
they got a pretty good side collection. The park was a little better, but like they got a pretty good.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but Orlando's all around is to me the best one. What are your thoughts on Icebreaker?
Looks pretty good actually. You know, I'm a big fan, and that's something different and unique, and it's going to be a nice, you know, like cool white roller coaster. So I like it. It looks pretty unique, and I'm actually looking forward to riding it. You know, I've seen the test footage of it.
Yeah, and they just took down the walls of the entrance.
Yeah, it looks good. You know, I was there, and I was actually there in Orlando when they were working on it. When I went last summer, and so I'm sorry, not last summer. Last December, 2019, when I was down there, and it looked good. You know, like so. I'm kind of like all the Florida new ones look pretty good. Velocicoaster.
They do. I mean, Velocicoaster, come on.
Iron Gwazi, everybody likes. You know, like I don't think it's gonna be the best RMC because, you know, I've already. Here, let me dive in that real quick here because I'm gonna make some people upset here. I'm sorry.
Please do.
Sorry, but Iron Gwazi is gonna be great. What I don't like is that everybody's like, "Oh, this is the greatest RMC." Well, you haven't ridden it yet. You know, no. And the thing about RMC,
but a lot of people got upset by seeing the POV thing that they put out.
Right,
it's like this isn't the greatest.
It looks good. I mean, like the route looks good, but RMC does similar things. So I've already ridden that. Basically, if you know what I'm saying, like I've already done a beyond vertical drop. I've already done a stall. I've already done like an outbreak turn. Now that death roll looks amazing. You know, like on as well too. But you know, RMC, like I'm pretty. I know what I'm going to expect. I don't know what I'm getting on Pantheon because Intamin's never done those kind of elements on a coaster before. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. Like, you know, just like Intamin stall, the outer bank turn, the beyond drop, the drop off the river. Like it's just like, man, it's got some things going, a multi-launch spike and backwards launch. So like Intamin's like, hey, we're thinking outside the box here, and we're gonna throw in our little splash, mixing with what RMC's been doing, and put our own take on it, and we'll see what we get here. And plus, it'll be really intense, man. So
I just think it's gonna have a lot of maintenance issues, though.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. You know, like the switch track, man. You got a switch track.
Yeah. Especially opening day, it's. I feel you're gonna have to wait a while to get on that.
Yeah,
you might get one ride, two if you're lucky.
And it's a good thing Busch Gardens is close by my house, man. So like,
you're
it's only an hour and a half away, man. So like, it's you know, if you're coming out of town, you know, it's a risk, high risk. But it's cool. Like
I've done a lot of those high risk things, like a lot,
man.
A lot.
You got to walk away disappointed, man. Like, oh gosh, you know,
because you listen to this podcast, man, and you've heard I've continuously mentioned, which I'm going to ask you. After I mention it again, my longest wait was Hagrid's in 2019, 13 hours 11 minutes. Which people
like
were
I can't.
You're stupid.
Yeah, like I'm still to this day just because I complain, right? Like my longest wait is 4.5 hours, and that was opening day of
everybody who I talk to is 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. That's how long you should wait at the max. But like, you know, like that was sitting there over at Kennywood, man, trying to get on the second best hyper in the park. You know, so I'm just like, okay, well, here I am, still current. 4.5, almost 5 hours later. Like, man, this is unnecessary. But like now I'm thinking like. Now, if I were to take that by 3 and get Miguel's weight on, like you literally spent like almost the whole day at the park.
No, I did.
Like literally like a day, like almost 24 hours a day.
All right, you made me. I got to tell the story again. So the day before, for those who are new listening to the queue, here we go. The day before I worked, and then I got off at like 4, got home, whatever, dealt through traffic, got home, rested. I don't know what it was. I slept for like 45 minutes, and then we left at 11:30 at night to make the drive to Orlando. Got there by 6 something. It was storming. It was crazy. Got there by 6, checked into one of the Universal hotels.
The first storm was coming.
Yes. So checked into one of the Universal hotels because it would get me early access to the park. What I found out, though, was that was only for Universal Studios, not Islands of Adventure. So I'm like, okay. All right. Well, hey, it's all right, Miguel. Let it go. All right. So I get there. I'm sleep deprived. Get to the park. The line starts. It's a 600-minute wait at this point. It starts at the beginning entrance. If anybody's ever been to Islands of Adventure, imagine waiting at the entrance of the park to ride a ride. And then
I just did a calculation on my phone here for like what's 600 minutes to an hour. For those of you who aren't math inclined, that's 10 hours off the side. Okay.
That's the projected queue, guys. Right off the bat.
10 hours.
So imagine you get into the turnstiles. You just walk in, and like immediately you're waiting in the queue. So I wait there. It pours down in rain. If you watch my video, I didn't even vlog it because I was so mad. I kind of did like a video where I had the news people, like different news outlets, talk about this ride over my visuals. And they were like saying you could watch all the movies 2 times over. I'm like, dang, that sucks and that hurts. But so the ride broke down 6 times. There was 3 or 4 rain delays.
He said 6 times. 3 or 4 rain delays.
Yeah. Those were different. Those were different breakdowns or delays. Breakdowns. So I got there before park opening still, and then I got on the ride after park closed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good.
So, but they had to keep the park open for 3 more hours till midnight because there's no way you were going to refund people all that money.
Not happening.
Yeah. It was still amazing on that ride at nighttime. Again, your boy, which we'll talk about. Shout out to him, ElToroRyan. That video, by the way, on the problematic coaster on that video is blowing up.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's almost like it's over $250,000 already. You know,
it's close to $1 million now.
It's doing amazing. Ryan,
if you guys watch that,
hard, man.
If you guys watch that video, which I highly recommend, and I'll link that in the description down below too as well. You'll know how difficult that ride is to operate. And also, again, just my perspective at the night rides on that is tremendous. Tremendous. Because it's supposed to be like you're in the nighttime Forbidden Forest. So it really comes alive at night. But anyways, so 4 hours for you compared to my, And before that,
at what point, right? Like at what point, as you're waiting, right? Because, it's like and
yes,
I'm trying to piece this together. Like, at what point do you like?
I didn't eat either.
Yeah, I was saying I haven't eaten today. Kind of thirsty. Do I need a chair? Or basically next time, take a backpack with you, take on one of those portable chairs. Just you may have to sit down every now and then. I don't want to be in this concrete, but at some point when it heats, when it keeps rain, not only you're in the rain, you're in the rain. Another delay. It's not like you're on a tarp where you get soaked and wet, getting in there all day, batteries dying on the phone. It's not the last 13 hours. And then you walk in the park, it's morning, you walk out, it's night. And at what point, when you get off the ride, right? Are you satisfied? Or are you are you satisfied? Or
there's one point we're actually in the queue itself, the theme queue. We're actually in the queue itself. I actually have to go to the bathroom, but I got really pissed off.
Sacrifices, man.
I got really pissed off. My wife and I was like, come on, let's go. I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired of this. It's already been 9 hours. I'm tired of this. So you see, I'm a man of patience. At 9 hours was my point where I started breaking. 9 hours. And then it kept pouring down rain on us outside, and I'm drenched. And again, you guys can see it in the video. I'm just I'm standing there I'm like Vegeta, like I'm like Goku or something, or Vegeta. I'm looking in the rain and I'm just mad, powering up. So I get out of the queue and to go to the bathroom, and somewhere around here I have one of the tickets still that was exclusive for that day that lets you get out the ride line. So I get out, and these people get off the ride, and they are just flipping out, talking about, it is worth it. Please stay, wait. They're just yelling to everybody who would listen. And I was like, let me go to the bathroom. And then fortunately, there was this other family that was in the queue in front of us that you're going to vibe with people around you for that long. So he went to the bathroom, and we didn't know this. And he walked by us. He's like, hey, you coming back in the line? And I was like, I guess so. I wasn't going to, but I was like, I guess so. And he maneuvered us back to where his family was. And we skipped all that back again and went up there. Then we get to the last part of the queue. If anybody's seen the video, we're at the top, which is amazingly themed, where it's Hagrid's on the top floor and you're hiding underneath the floorboards. And it's amazingly themed. But we were stuck there for 2 hours at the end, right at the ride. And then we got on, but it was amazing. But at what point, and was it satisfying? Yes, based off of I was delusional. I just had to do it. All I had was a blueberry muffin and a bottle of water. They started handing out water in the queue.
Okay.
Yeah, so it worked.
Yeah, man. Like it's kind of funny, man. I don't. You just mentioned, man, like at your 9-hour break point. See, like me, I got a 9-hour break point too. It's called flight or drive, right? So like when I make decisions to go to parks, like once I get to 9 hours, like the distance here, like that's a flight. I'm booking a flight, right? Like to get from where I am to get to Orlando is 13 hours, right? Wow. So like,
I'm flying.
You basically, hey, Miguel, I'm on my way to the park. Right, I'll see you there. Basically, like when I left my house and got there, and when I went to the park, you're still in line. You would have still been in line. So like that kind of stuff, like really makes like.
And by the way, you could have gotten like 13 there. Hours, man. You could have gotten there, and the queue died down. The queue could have died down by the time you got to the park, and I could have still been in line.
Still been in line. And you weren't the only one. So like, if you waited 13 hours, I mean, thousands of other people waited. Waited 13 hours. I don't know which one with you guys, man. Like, I mean, I've got to, as we're waiting in line right now for the Voyage,
yes, we are.
this might be the only coaster I'm going to wait 13 hours for because like I know
it's a projected 75-minute wait right now for the Voyage.
Yeah, we've got to put a 0 next to that 5, right? to kind of get it right to where it needs to go. 750-minute wait. We just
would you wait? Would you wait 13 hours for a trimless Voyage ride? One ride?
Absolutely. I sure would. Wow. And that's not even sacrilegious. Like I sure would. Like I sure would because I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the most unbelievable, probably arguably, instead arguably. I'm going to get arguably probably the greatest ride experience that exists on planet Earth. Like Trimless Night Voyage is arguably the greatest like coaster experience you could probably have.
What would beat that if it were trimless? What coaster would beat that if they did a trimless night ride version of that?
I have no idea. Like because the I don't know if it can right now. Like
wow.
Voyage,
so
right?
you're saying wow.
Like Voyage is my number one, even with the trims on. Trimless is just takes it on a level. Yeah,
I thought it died down a little bit when it has the trims on. I thought it went down your list a little bit.
Slows down, but like it regains all its speed, full speed.
No, I'm saying on your list. I thought it dropped down a little bit.
Oh, wow. No, it's still number one. No, it's still number one. It's a gap. Like it's like Voyage is 1, and then there's a gap. And then what I have is Toro, after that. I love wooden coasters. So it's like Toro. Then I think it's Vengeance after that. So, and Vengeance is good. Like all the coasters in my top 10 are absolutely amazing, but none of them can do what that coaster in Indiana can do.
All right, man. You convinced me.
Like,
you convinced me.
If you're in the airtime, intensity, speed, adrenaline, like just unknowns, quick transit, it just has the total package. So it's just like it's for me, it's like the Michelangelo coasters, man. Like there's only one of these things that could be built, and Gravity Group hasn't done anything since it. So like it's just that's their thing. Like that's their when you look back at the history of coasters, man, they've been like when they built that thing right there, like it's tough, like top something like a wooden coaster like that. And I'm thankful for them for doing what they did out there because it's the only thing when I get off every time, just kind of like Jesus, man, like that.
So you're saying, Mike,
you're saying
I got to get out the HoliWood Nights to experience this.
Oh yeah. And we get to ride this year with this past year we got to ride it with the wet track.
Oh,
that's that
reminds me.
It was raining, man. It was nuts.
Right, I did Thunderhead at Dollywood with right after it rained. After I messaged you, great experience. Awesome. I did front row, back row, and I kind of marathon that one. I didn't marathon Lightning Rod like we talked about, but incredible experience. But hey, I got to get out there.
Thunderhead is now the best wedding coaster at Dollywood. Thunderhead is now the best wedding coaster at Dollywood now.
Very true. Very true.
But it's actually really good. It's actually a really good ride. It's gotten better. It's weird, like how some coasters get better, as time goes by. That one's got a little bit better. They think,
while some get worse, it's weird. Yeah,
some get real worse. Still, but
especially
I don't know, man.
Like
I don't know, man. Like it's I had a discussion with a few other people, man. Like it's like what can dethrone Voyage? I'm like, oh no, probably Voyage. Like if they don't keep up with the maintenance on it, and just don't retrack it if it comes unbearably rough. You know, and the only thing that can beat it is itself. So like, the only thing that can really take it out is its own its holiday
That's
world.
interesting.
You know, so like unless it's right day, like each time I get on it, like no, I know it's coming, and it's still just you know, when you get off the coaster, you're just like, it should like that exists. It's like that shouldn't even happen. Like the way the I'm talking about like the Trimless Night Ride. Like I'm just like that should even be illegal. Like it should be illegal. Like what's keeping this coaster on the track? You know, like what's,
that's what I've heard.
It's like they probably got to change them every day. I'm just like they got to change them like every day. It's like what's keeping this thing on the track, man? So
well, I'm definitely
shout out to Holiday World, man, for like for building that.
Absolutely, shout out to them.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. But you convinced me along with the others. I gotta make the commute. I gotta make the trip out, the voyage out there to the voyage. Man. So man. But something else.
That's just one aspect of HoliWood Nights, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like forget. I mean, the coaster's great, but just being in the park with just enthusiasts, it's just amazing. You know, everybody understands. Everybody gets what's going on here, man. I'm talking about from Thunderhead to the Legend or Raven. Like everybody understands. Like the experience of being around people that share your passion. Like that right there is honestly what is probably the best part of it. And just being able to acclimate yourself and get lost and not have to worry about these, like, you know, and it's not against GP, but like just they have to worry about like just random things. Oh my god, I don't know, I don't want to ride this too dark, and like they get like, what should I do? Like, put your seatbelt on, you know. Like we had that moment at Six Flags actually over the weekend where we had this GP with us, and he was sitting in front of the Superman. He's like, "Ma'am, excuse me, it's just straight a little tight." It's like, yeah, they have to verify it. And he's like, "Get you loosen up a little bit." Then they, you know, then they have to, you know, here they come. You know, they track it, recheck, and then his bar ends up getting tighter because like she's like, is it verified? And the ride-up's like, and they keep pushing it down. It's just like, and then they keep pushing around even tighter, and they find it like, it's like we're back where we started. You know, I was like,
or even worse, That's funny.
But I love getting lost. I just love getting lost in the atmosphere and just
for sure.
And just having an opportunity, man, to like have conversations with people who are like-minded like you that know stuff, and then you also make good relationships as well too. And and that's very important to me in this community because there are some people that say, hey, the community's not good. I'm like, I don't know where you're at, man, but the community that I'm in, I love this community.
For sure. I mean, there's always, in my opinion, going to be toxicity in any community, in any realm like that. But my experience in meeting a lot of you guys and having you in the queue or meeting you guys at the park, I've had a good time for the most part. So that I love the community. I've really shifted and found the coaster community and interacted with more people during the pandemic last year, actually.
That's right.
Beforehand, I was into it, but I didn't really have an outlet like that to reach out to you guys, which Instagram has been a blessing. Like I make YouTube videos, but Instagram really helped me connect to those. Like, for example, you have an Instagram page, but you don't have like a YouTube channel.
Anything else? I don't have anything but Instagram, social media. Like I no Twitter, no Facebook, no Snapchat. I don't like. And it was like an arm and leg. Like Ryan like approached me. He's like, dude, can you please get an Instagram, man? He's like, please, man. Like these people were asking about this. I'm like, nobody cares about Airtime Myke. He's like, no, they do. He's like, could you please get a page? So me and Peter, Ejector Trims, ended up like going like on the same day, like end up getting Instagram, but I was like, you know, it's just like I'm not a social media kind of guy, man. I just want to go to park. I understand. Lay low and just ride and leave, man. But
speaking of this Ryan that you're referring to, I think it's a good time. Who is ElToroRyan? How did you guys meet?
All right, so ElToroRyan is, if you guys don't know, man, amazing guy. You know, like great YouTuber, but much better person, like outside. He's a good friend, very entertaining, smart, educated. Like this guy's sharp, man. Like, he's a sharp dude.
Look, people need to understand that too, based off of your guys' Coaster Idiots, which Mike is a coaster idiot. Speaking of those vlogs, those Coaster Idiot ones, people did not know how smart Ryan actually is until.
Oh yeah, he's awesome, man.
He is smart.
He's got a degree in mechanical engineering. I do too. I got one also, but like he knows more stuff than I do. So like more stuff than I do, and
which is so funny. The Coaster Idiots are actually geniuses.
Man. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I think almost every single coach has a degree, like has a college degree. But it's just like, like we all just actually, I think that's true. I think everyone does actually. But it's just like, we all just, like we like to have fun in parks. This dude is sharp and intelligent. And he's so detailed focused. And he's open. He's very open, very honest, and easy to talk, along with. So he's approachable. Like he doesn't like, and he likes to have a good time, man. Like I actually I met him through Peter. So like I met Pete at the Kings Dominion Twisted Timbers photo shoot, actually. So like from the marketing event. And he approached me when Ryan probably had like 300 subs.
You were on the Twisted Timbers.
Yeah, we're on that.
Like photo for the stats thing. I saw.
Like we're like over like the media stuff, or like we're on the train. We're like we're all stuff. So, like if you got like a season pass, or like you go to the park, like we're on the midway, like we're all over the place, right? It's so funny. Cool. And I met him. So I met Pete there, and he goes, he's like, hey, do you know Ryan? I'm like, ElToroRyan. I'm like, I'm familiar. At the time, Ryan had like 200 or 300 subs. That's right. Crazy. So I was like, okay, cool. And
what year was this?
I kind of met this. This was like 2017. So I'm like, okay, well, let's check it out. So, we had a good time in the park that day, like me and Pete, and then I ended up meeting Ryan at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Yep. A few months later, and we kind of like shot the first vlog there, and it was kind of cool. Like, I kind of like I've been talking to him in a group chat already, and like in chatting with him and stuff like that. But I met him in person that day, and after that, man, it's been great ever since, man. Like, we had like the Coach City initiation type thing, and I can't go into details of that. Like it's kind of like the fraternity, man. Like you got to process, of course, because you have to go through to qualify, and not everybody gets to apply to be a Coach City. It doesn't work. Of course, be a Coach City. Like, hey, man,
it's an invite only.
You just can't, man. Yeah, invite only, man. That's a process, man. But we can't talk about it, man. Secret handshakes, lingo and wordage on here. Like if you see each other, man, we have way to acknowledge one another. Yes. So it's just not
understood.
Yeah. It's just not a thing.
So for those asking, how can they join? Membership is not open at this time.
Yeah, man. Like membership's closed, and you have to be selected. All right, like you have to be selected. Right. But it's kind of cool, man. Like ever since then, we kind of picked his brain, and we kind of go from that, and then like each day, we all get closer. Like all the Coach idiots are pretty close. We chat every day. Like we're in like a text group chat. We chat like every day, laughing, giggling, pitch ideas back and forth, and we're all about just having a good time, man. Like we just want to ride coasters, want to promote the product and share information with people who don't know, and we just want to make people smile and laugh. And the Coach idiots, man, like those vlogs, like that's us, man. Like there's no acting there. Like that's just who we are. The mad scientist that I call Ryan. When he edits those videos, man, like he just puts those things together and makes it happen. But like we don't do nothing special. We just film it.
I know things Ryan, are weird.
do something with that. He's like, I got it. Just like, I got it.
Like I know things are weird, man. It's just I can't wait for you all to meet back up and we have more vlogs. Or even at some point, like this season, hopefully you guys make that happen. But I know Ryan's iffy right now on going to the park.
We shot a few, so we got some coming out here actually really soon. Actually, they'll be coming out here, and then of course this year we're gonna with the pandemic, we're gonna shoot more stuff coming out here. Really, personally, I really just want Ryan to be back vlogs. I love watching this guy at the parks, man. He's great.
Yeah,
but we love it, man. Like we all get along, and we just put our stuff in there, and for us here, it's an opportunity for us to go back and look at our friendship and say, hey, man, like back in the day, man,
still document it for sure.
We were having fun at the park, so
yeah, for sure. Because you guys, like, whether it be some of you or all of you guys made some great trips to different places together and experienced it. Different, like even different countries, different things. Like you guys, like I said, whether it be as a whole or just some of you guys that make up Coaster Idiots, like. You guys have done some amazing things, and for one, and two, as friends, so which is pretty amazing. And you guys should be very proud of it. And we, as the viewers, we're very proud of you guys, and just to watch it in general, it's super entertaining.
That's good, man. Like we appreciate that, and I know Ryan would like he loves to hear stuff like that. So he kind of shared with us like even the people that hate him on him. Like I think somebody had posted something about like hating on one of the videos. It's like. I don't know why you're breaking all this technical stuff down. Nobody really cares about that. But everything else was good. And but at the end of the video, when you break down the technical stuff, I wasn't really a fan of that. And then
because it went over your head.
Yeah, here's my response. Like, well, he watched the whole video. Thank you.
Yeah, true.
Hey, we appreciate the view, man.
The click-through rate and the views there. So
thank you, man.
Sir.
We appreciate you getting to the entire 38-minute video that you didn't like. You're like, great. That's awesome.
Hey, I understand that.
We appreciate that. So that's cool. So like, yeah, he's a great guy, man. And I feel bad for him because like he made a choice not to go to parks last year.
Yep.
He didn't go to single park last year. I don't think he still hasn't been to a park yet.
No, from what I saw, he has not been. I saw he was at Great Adventure in the parking lot.
Never went in.
But didn't go in.
He has not ridden a roller coaster since 2019. And so no, I know where he's I have an idea like where he's going first. Like once he gets through, and then plus I'm going to see him
an opening day of a coaster, or is it just...
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey guys, we're trying to get the scoop here in the queue. I don't know,
but I know he's extremely excited to get back out there.
Oh, just imagine that feeling. Like again, my face in that picture I showed you, and for those listening on audio, go over to the YouTube channel to see what that image I showed of my face on Lightning Rod. Like. Super hyped about it. So imagine
it, man. He's cheesing from like ear to ear with the perfect whites out there, man.
It was like my face was warped. I was so hyped and excited. It was amazing.
It's a coaster, man. But that's what this is, man. Like and that's what Miguel, you're right about that. Like that's what this is, man. Like like for me, right? Like coasters for me is kind of like an escape from life, man. I mean, we all have jobs here and we all have careers and we all got to make things, pay bills and go through, and we go through life struggles, man. But like for me, stepping into a park, just kind of immersing myself in the atmosphere, the smell, the feels, the people.
Bro, I thought I was alone.
Information and getting on the coaster, which I call organized chaos, and just being engulfed in that, like that's what makes me happy. What makes me smile. Even if one coaster's open or one park, like one ride's open in the park, man, like it's enough for me to be like.
Now you understand, like the reason I waited 13 hours and 11 minutes because I love it.
Man, that's 13 hours in 11 minutes is dedication that you will never come from me. Like I think about Velocicoaster and like how bad that's gonna be when it opens.
They're gonna have to go on a virtual queue.
Man, like it's gonna be this. I have
like, for real. It's gonna have to be like Rise of the Resistance at Disney, where they have the virtual
They're gonna have to figure that out because, like, for me, like I'm not coming. Like, it looks good. It looks like it's gonna be a fun ride, very well themed. Like, Universal, like they do a tremendous job on it. I don't think it's gonna be the best end to me because, like, that park focuses on family, so it can only be so intense. And I've seen the pacing's good, and like I love how it interacts. So it's kind of like like the US version. Maybe of Terran. So
actually,
like
that's what I was comparing it to. I was going to talk about that. Yeah, that's
so
very true.
It's like we kind of have like our Terran here and like Block Coaster. So it's like okay, that's what we're getting here. And like
even though I would probably take Terran over that.
Oh yeah, still. I probably would too. Yeah, it looks amazing, but it looks good. Like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good ride, good mode, but it'll be a little step above Cheetah Hunt, which is better theming. And a little bit more speed.
I think it'll be a little higher than that.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like it just, no. And Cheetah Hunt's not a bad coaster.
No, I love it.
It's just, it's geared for families, and for someone like me, I like balls to the wall.
Correct.
Make me feel uncomfortable. Like, what can you push your boundaries on? Like on me and
Understood.
and that's who I am, and at the end, I'm like that because of the product of where my home park is, and so that coaster looks really fun. So like theming and stuff. I'm not the biggest person that's about theming. I'm more about coaster experience.
I was gonna ask you about that too. About do you care about theming?
It's okay. I mean, like it's okay, but like it's not gonna make or break a ride for me. Like there's no theming on Voyage, right? Like it's just a crazy coaster experience.
Yeah,
there's no theming on Boulder Dash. No theming on Lightning Rod. Like when you ride the coaster. So it's just these things are just still events. Like
that's true.
There's no story here. But dark rides, I think theming is very important for like dark rides. Like,
it has to be.
That's those are the kind of things I'm just kind of like, it's kind of cool, how to go on. But like, I'm not paying attention to like what's around me. Like when I'm riding, I'm just like,
True.
Like, what's next?
Where does your love for all this stem from? Like, how did this come about for you? Not just being, I guess, since you don't really care about theming, so I'm not really going to say, when did you fall in love with theme parks? When did you really become like an enthusiast? When did you fall in love with roller coasters?
Gotcha. You know, I told Peter this, right, Jet the Trims. What kind of made me a real enthusiast is, I want to say, as a young kid, right, like not quite a teenager yet, but just sitting on and riding Dragonfire at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Okay.
My parents are not coaster enthusiasts, and neither is my sister. Like, they do not like, they don't go to parks. The only one, right? So the shows that people like Air Loop were like ever built, I think it's probably I think it's the best Air Loop that's ever been made. And I just sat there for an hour and a half, never leaving, because no one wants to ride it, and I had so much fun, like riding that. That kind of like ignited the fire that was kind of in there.
Of course.
Kings Dominion being my home park, and me going to Hershey Park a lot, also younger, made me feel like how I liked them, but I didn't love them until I rode Dragonfire. And then Dragonfire, like, kind of was like, oh man. So like, yeah, so here I am, like 11, 12 years old or whatever. It was like riding this thing. I'm just like, oh man, I was like, this is so cool. Like this is so great. And then you know, later on, a couple years later, you know, we get Alpengeist, and then you know, it's just like, okay, now I'm fully immersed in this thing, and now I'm like, hey, we get launch coaches at Kings Dominion, and we're getting, you know, it's like, hey man, this is cool. This is Flight of Fear or the Outer Limits at the time. It's like, oh, this is nice, man. Standing in line for like 3 hours to ride that, and that kind of ignited it. And then I took a break from it during college. You know, for about like 3-4 years, just focusing on education or anything. And then, like, once I got back out of there, man, like they built it I-305. That kind of rejuvenated like the spirit. But like watching Clint Novak cover the construction of I-305 in 2009 was just so cool to be watching. I was a big fan of In Loop at the time, and just riding that Giga, like, just ignited it, man. It just kind of ignited that fire again. I was like, oh, now I'm all the way in again. So the last 11 years, I've been all in.
I see that.
So I've been all in. But you know, so I traveled a lot also. So, you know, I got a lot of rare credits, but kind of like you, man, like those park experiences, man, like Dueling Dragons when I was down there, couldn't get it because like the one day it doesn't work or operate.
Speaking of Dueling Dragons, that's what made me get into this.
Couldn't get it, man.
Yeah,
I would. Oh man, see, Fire and Ice, man. I would have loved to have gotten those. I don't have it, man.
Oh well, I'm glad I have what you don't have,
and I know you love them.
Yeah, no, that was that's what got me into it, and I was terrified. This was 2009 as well. I was terrified, man. The only other coaster I did was Woody Woodpecker. Woody Woodpecker was my
Woody
first
Woodpecker, okay.
Coaster. And
God,
it still has a little zip to it. So I'm just saying. But
it's not bad.
And then I was like, I'm tired of this. Like, I don't know why. I was like, I feel like it'll be a moment for me that'll open up my eyes, not just to coasters, because I was always told like, oh, that stomach in your feet, the feeling in your stomach, and then just the fear of coasters and all that from family. Like a lot of fear is taught, it's passed down, and I just said, I don't want to be afraid of things, period, if I can help it. So let me do something thrilling and let me try this. So front row in that, and front row of the Hulk with my brother, and we did it, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, I can do this. And I just fell in love with coasters.
That's awesome, man. Like, I love, you know, it's kind of fun because I love hearing stories about like what like people like motivated kind of, and everyone's story is different and unique. And I love that, right? Like, I just love that. Everyone's passion is generated differently. And like, there's no wrong opinion, you know? So even when people make these top lists and the kind of stuff like that's their opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Airtime thrills, whether I agree with you or not on your top intimate list there, which Sky Rush at 15. I'm just, you know, like
real quick,
my hands on my mouse, like, do I need to continue to watch this video?
Speaking of Sky Rush, I want you to tell right now here in the queue, where would you rank Sky Rush amongst like ejector airtime?
Oh yeah, Sky Rush is probably top 2 or 3 for ejector airtime. It's all it is. It is. You are thrown out of your seat. It is violently wonderful. Like, especially if you're back row, like left
right
seat,
up your alley.
Like that is where you want to see, man. Like, thank Lisa Cogswell for that. Congratulations to her and and Coach Junkie on their marriage. But that back row, like left seat, man, like that is where. Oh my God, and like that drop, it's like a double drop, and then it just kind of there. Then you just from that point on, you're just ejected throughout the entire ride. You know, like so. Now, for me, I have no problems with the restraint, so like it doesn't bother me, you know. So it does nothing. So others, I'm sorry, you
others
feel that
do,
way, but
you
know, like it doesn't bother me at all. I'm so focused on like having so much fun.
Yes,
being
it doesn't bother.
It
doesn't phase you.
Yeah. Don't phase me. I can marathon all day. Like, I can sit there all day in that thing and be okay. Like go home with some bruises later on and be proud, right? Take a picture of it and like look at that, man. What's that? That right there is a rite of passage, right? That's Sky Rush's thigh bruise right there. If you can't get off the bruise without the ride, then you haven't accomplished your mission yet.
Right. That's true.
Like go back to the part.
If you don't get beat up on the coaster, did we ever ride it?
No. Oh, yeah. If you don't like Sky Rush, man, hey, like, you know, Hershey was like, listen, we understand, like, you know, some of y'all can't handle it. So we got Candemonium. It's got a soft name. It's got a soft name. It's soft as candy, and you can go there and ride that Candemonium over there, man.
It is such a soft name. It is such a soft name, though.
You know, I'm not proud of that. Like, if I were talking to my regular friends, you know, like which I do all the time, man. Like, they love my passion. But like, what's your favorite coaster at the park? Like, Candemonium. You know, like they're probably gonna be like, "What? Like, is that real?" Like, goodness. Yeah, it's real.
That's my number one coaster, Candemonium.
Candemonium. Come on, like candy and then monium, and then Hagrid's has got like the longest line in history, man. Like, you know, like, but I like the name, but it's just like
Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure.
It's like what?
Well, is that the longest name, or is there's that one Batman coaster that has that super long name?
There's one other. I'm not quite sure, but like I'm trying to see like how do you pitch that in a meeting where it's like, what we're gonna end this coaster? It's like Motorbike Adventures, like. What do we need to like list the whole thing and break it down? I think the people understand enough. It's like
as far as Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure.
It could have been no, it's not enough. No. Extend it out. What if like we want to make sure they know exactly.
Okay, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventures.
Do we need magical creatures in there? Like yes. Like yes, it's magical.
But what would have been awesome for that ride would just been the element of surprise if you were actually zipping through on the coaster and you saw the giant animatronics. Would have been incredible of a surprise. I don't need the name in there. Like
not at all. Like, yeah, some of these coaster names are crazy, man. Like I'm like, who's in these meetings, these marketing meetings?
It's very true.
Then you got like Busch Gardens, Williamsburg with their name Invader. You know, they gave it to the public, and now we have Invader with no vowel. You know, so
isn't it just like
now we have DR. It's just D is badder. It doesn't matter. It's a bad GCI, but it doesn't really matter. It's just I'm just like it's got a bad name. It's a bad coast. It's a bad GCI. It is not a horrible GCI. It's just that compared to the other. I mean, maybe it's not clear. I need to be clear on this. It's not a bad GCI. It's not a bad GCI. It's just that when you compare it to all the other GCIs, it doesn't stack up. You know, it's not as good. It's short, boring, limited stuff, and Busch Gardens should do better when it comes to like a wooden roller coaster. So I'm just like, you know, I get on, I look at it, like, oh, cool theming, Viking, kind of cool ride experience. It's like, all right, like moving on.
Moving on. Hilarious.
Okay, Coaches is gonna hate me because like that's like his daughter's favorite ride, and when I see him, when I see Okay Coaches, man,
making everybody mad.
I want to ride it with his daughter so I can say like, hey, I had a good experience, positive experience with it. Like it's like my bucket list. I ride it with his daughter, and I see her and like see the excitement in her face. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
I get it now. I can live vicariously through her. Yeah. That's funny.
Arm seat.
Real quick. So obviously you go to these parks, different parks, your home park, other parks, whatever. I hope you take time to eat. If so, at the parks, what is your favorite thing to eat at? You choose whatever park you want to talk about. So
I'll tell you right now, Silver Dot City
Oh, everybody! It's either Silver Dollar City or Dollywood. It's either those two people.
Dollywood's at the same level. Right? They have the same thing, like those skillets, and those pulled pork.
That's my answer too.
Man, jeez, man, like they have real food at those parks, which I appreciate.
Thank you, real food. Yeah.
That cinnamon bread, right, is amazing at Dollywood. It's really good. It's one of the best things that you can ever taste. However,
can't wait to get it this weekend at the time of recording.
You get toppings, right? Like you can get peaches and chocolate and whipped cream, and they spice it all. Yeah, they can like specially make that thing for you, and it's gooey and it's warm.
Well, I can't. I'm gonna make it out there this year. It's
absolutely amazing. It's a fat guy's food, man. Like that's why I feel like
Mike's drooling.
My fat boy body, like, and I'm proud to say that, right? Like I'm like. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, bring it on.
For those listening right now, Myke is currently...
I've been working out for like 10 years. I don't even care anymore, man.
For those listening right now, Myke is currently drooling. It's hilarious.
Look at that, man.
You didn't have to.
But yeah, like that right there is that right there is where I want to go, man. Like Silver City's food is amazing, man. Like I just. Like you can't go wrong. Like you can sit down and like eat in certain places, and they got the amazing desserts. And like, man, there's this potato thing. Like they like this rolled potatoes. Like they skin a potato on there. And like they kind of like fry it and throw some like this garlic powder. Oh, like the food of that park. Well, if you're going to Silver City, you've never been there before, and you check the scale, right, and you're like 190 when you go into the park, right? You may walk out of there like 205. I'm just giving you the heads up.
I'll see this year when I go this summer.
In your pocket too, man. Like it's just,
so I'm gonna meet up with.
It's such an amazing park, man.
I'm gonna meet up with Kalaheo, Destination Thrills. I'm gonna meet up with him there, so it's gonna be a good time this summer.
Nice,
yeah.
What a great channel he has, man. That's an awesome channel he has, man. I love his content.
Even better guy, even better person. Man. Yeah, he's an amazing human being. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to him though. But oh my goodness, Myke, it looks like our train has arrived. I have one more question for you.
I got it. Yeah.
Where are we sitting?
We're sitting back row. We're going to be in row 12 here on the Voyage here, or row 11. Either one of them is just fine. And we're going to be left to the right seat. And loose lap bar, if we can. Looking for one click here on these PTC trains. We're just going to have an absolute, when we get back to the station, I'm going to be curious to look at your face. If it looks like Airtime Girls when he was just kind of like, like, I love the look and react. It's going to be great, man. Then we can get back in line and do this again. It's going to be great.
Okay. The art of marathoning.
But not 13 hours. Not 13 hours, man.
Okay. Never, trust me, never again. Never again. But
you should do a 13-hour podcast one day. See how that goes.
From the park. From a park. It's a good idea.
A park.
No, but Myke, thank you so much, good sir, for joining me in the queue. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you go head over to Instagram and check out his Instagram page. It is growing. He has fun content. He travels, does different parks, updates you on the stories, good pictures. Also, he links other friends, other enthusiasts in the community. When he meets them, he tags them, and you guys could, yonder over to their pages as well. Some do YouTube, some just have awesome Instagram pages. So definitely check him out. Check out his stuff. He's a great guy. And just again, Myke, thank you for joining me in the queue. I appreciate it.
Hey, Miguel, thank you so much for having me here, man. I love everything you do here on this podcast here. Your YouTube channel is growing. Keep going, man. The content here is great, man. You know how I feel about having other minorities in the community, man. And someone like yourself here to kind of include me on this, man. It's I feel honored. I really do. And I appreciate you taking the time for to have me on here.
No problem, good sir.
Hit me up, man, when you come to Virginia, man.
I told you I am.
We're riding, man. We're riding 9-3. We're riding some coaches together, man.
I'm super hyped. I'm ready. I told you. Got your info. We're going to make this happen for sure. We're going to make it happen. But guys, thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys follow and subscribe if you guys are new. We will catch you guys next time in the queue. Take care, guys.
Take care.